But anyway, once again, welcome to Paul and Pal's IG Live show. I'm your host, Ponyboy Paul, and you're now tuned into episode 7, where I'll be featuring my pal, Shotta Spence. I'm going to get into a little bit, about what he does and, how we know each other. But before I bring him in, let me get some pony emojis, applause emojis, and we'll get the show started. Yo.
I'm not your pal, bro.
How you living, bro? How you living?
I'm living good, man. How about yourself? I'm blessed up.
That's blessed. You got the studio set up, bro.
Not real talk, bro.
I'm messing with it. But what I like to do is always start with how we know each other, and then we go from there. But I think going back, it's really because Lee, aka Kakuyan, one of my good friends in college, and I remember he was showing me your stuff, and I'm like, oh cool, let me check it out, and then I think I forgot what the first song was, but I listened to the album Upfall, and I'm like, oh, this kind of go hard. So I'm like, okay, I mess with it, added it to the playlist. But I think we didn't actually meet each other till 2019, last year. We went to San Diego to shoot that video. So
yeah,
ever since then, it's been a vibe, bro. So I appreciate you joining. Appreciate that. But just to kick it off, bro, let's introduce some people to you. Like, who's Shotta Spence? Who are you, bro?
Shotta Spence, that's me. I am Shotta Spence.
But yeah, where you from? All that family. What you want to say? What you want to start with?
I'm from Franklin, New Jersey, born and raised.
Yep.
And that's where I'm from, and that's where I'm from.
But so I think most people that know you now, they obviously know you do the music thing and all of that. But I remember when I first met you, and Lee was telling me about you. He was telling me about your fashion thing, that was your main gig. So before we get into the whole music, let's just talk about how you first started getting into just the whole creative side of you. Where did all that come from?
Well, so I always been artistic since I was a kid, and I would always I like to make things. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I would always just like to draw. I would like to make music. My joy came from creativity. So, actually, I started really going hard with creative anything when I met Lee Kakuyan.
Really?
Yeah, in 3rd grade. So I met Lee in 3rd grade, and then Lee was super talented, crazy. He could draw. He was able to draw his ass off. I'm like, yo, we gotta be friends, bro. Yeah. So 3rd grade, and then we would always be making things. We would try to make comic books. We would try to make flip books.
Word.
We would draw portraits. We would and then eventually we started making music together. He started making beats, started rapping on them, and then millions of views later. You know what I'm saying? From 3rd grade to the world stage. So
that's crazy, bro. But even that is a crazy jump. I think that's dope that y'all met each other. You was like, yo, you mad creative. I want to learn. But
yeah,
from the music aspect, was it you kind of had an affinity for that your whole life? You always kind of was interested in music, or was it oh, this is something I can get a bag over? How do I get into it?
I think the first time that I was in I think I was in 2nd grade.
Yeah.
And I used to just I always been musical, you know what I'm saying? I always had rhythm. I always just enjoyed music since I was a little baby.
Yeah.
I would always sing in the car, sing in the shower. My mom and my siblings would put me on to a lot of music. So I would always envision myself. I would always close my eyes, and I would always envision myself on big stages in front of big crowds, and just, you know what I'm saying, being received on.
You saw it, yeah.
Yeah, I saw it, but I was 5 years old, 6 years old. You know what I'm saying? Seeing those things, and just drawing and stuff like that. I would always just have a passion for it. I always had that. I always had it in me.
Got you.
And then so music was just it was just natural to me. So, I didn't really believe I could do anything with it though until I was in high school.
Got you. And take us through that. So at this point in high school, I don't know, what grade was it in high school that you felt you really was I'm doing this? When was that?
So back to Kakuyan again, right? So me and Lee, we ran on the same track team. right? So yeah, we ran on the same track team. So after practice every day, we would be in his basement getting extra weights in with his dad. His dad would train us.
Yeah.
So you know, we would be after we lifted, we would be in the weight room, and then he had the sound system down there, so Lee would just be playing beats and stuff like that. And then, so me and Sabang and Lee and Markim, we would all just be freestyling over stuff, and eventually we just started recording things.
Yeah.
And then you know, Lee just started making, when he started making beats. Him and Mantra, they started making beats around the same time, and I would just be bouncing back and forth between his house, Mantra house, and then I would just be like, yo, I want to make a song. Yo, I want to make a song.
Yeah.
And at that time, I was just fucking around. I didn't know what, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know what was going to happen with it. All I knew was I wanted to make a song.
Yeah.
So I would just be making shit. Yeah. And then eventually the shit started getting good. You know what I'm saying? And then everybody was like, yo, like, we got to keep doing this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's dope, man. So like, and then so it seems like you know you were doing it. You were like, okay, I'm kind of decent at it, right? You kind of got that first validation. So what would you say like was your first song that like people in your school knew, your city knew, and they were like, yo, like who's Shotta Spence?
Dirty Jersey.
Dirty Jersey.
Yeah. So more backstory is necessary.
Bring it back.
I grew up in Franklin Park, right? So Franklin Township. We all went to Franklin High School. And then so in my neighborhood, I would always be outside playing with my boy Malik 732 Cash. So that's who I have that song Dirty Jersey with.
Yeah.
So we the kids in the neighborhood. We going outside, we fucking around, we doing bad shit. You know what I'm saying? Like regular kid shit. And we grew up just looking up to Steven, Cash older brother, and Chino, which was Steven's best friend, like, and they would be making music. So we like in 5th grade, 6th grade, and then they like 14, 15 making songs. And this is the MySpace era. This is LimeWire era. This is before IG. This is before IG, before IG, before Facebook, before SoundCloud, right? Before all that shit. It was strictly MySpace and LimeWire and shit like that. And then you had the mixtape sites.
Yeah.
So they would be dropping shit. They would be recording every time I would come over, right? We looking at sneakers. We looking at drip. You know what I'm saying? And then I would see Chino and Steven always in there going in, right? So then me, I already knew. I didn't really know how to rap or nothing like that. I was just like, yo, I like music. I like clothes. I like sneakers.
Yeah.
But Cash, on the other hand, he was like sick nasty at rapping, like super dope. Like I'm talking about on the bus, like he would be having a paper of something he wrote, and he would be spitting that shit, and I'm like, yo, that shit is hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we like we young, you know what I'm saying, on the bus. And then like he was so nice, the motherfucker would just be spitting some shit off the paper, and then he'll drop the paper and he'll keep going. I'm like, oh. So he always been nice, you know what I'm saying? So I grew up seeing that work ethic from my close friends. So like just skipping ahead to high school, like I sat at Chino's lunch table with him and with my boy Ryan, who I started my first brand with, right, for the fashion. And then Chino, who was like my inspiration for rapping, because he was Asian, right? He was a hustler. He was getting the most money. He was the flyest. Everybody loved him, right? So, you know, it was real fun and dope just growing up around those guys. And then 2012, you know, he got murdered. So, and I always looked at Chino as the person to make it out of the town. Like, okay, if anybody gonna make it out of Franklin with the music, it was him. You know what I'm saying? That's what I thought. And then so when he was murdered, it was like, okay, like it flipped the switch in my spirit, in my soul. And then I said, all right, you never know what's gonna happen. So I know I'm capable of doing everything I want to do. Yeah. Right? Because at that time I was already hustling clothes. I was already in my high school selling clothes to people, customizing their shit, and I was already hitting the freestyle ciphers at the lunch table and in New York, you know what I'm saying, in Union Square. I was out in the streets of New York just hustling, trying to get my brand and my name and my face out there. Yeah. And then once Chino got murdered, I felt like it was part of my responsibility to live that dream, all the dreams that I have, not just what I think I could do or what society told me to do or what society thinks of me. I just decided, like, all right, life is too unpredictable, so I'm gonna make sure that I go crazy in Chino name. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So once I made that decision, everything just started lining up, and the signs just showed, like,
came out.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is the path. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So that was a turning point for me. So I feel like every time that I do anything, touch the mic, hit the stage, grab a pen, whatever, I'm thinking like Chino's right next to me. You know what I'm saying? Or Chino.
You know that's dope because it's funny because I never knew that whole story, right? But I remember like playing Upfall. You referenced him a lot. You even had September dedicated to him, and I think it's really dope how you kind of incorporate your real life like consistently. It's not like a joke. You're really talking about what's been happening. So I want to get a little bit more into that kind of high school era because it seemed like music was kind of like that when that happened, you wanted to dedicate to it, but you also were doing that brand, that fashion. So like, tell us a little bit about that and like how you kind of got involved with the whole clothing.
So middle school, I used to be drawing sneakers on people's t-shirts, drawing Jordans and shit like that, and coloring them, and selling them to people, and then that became in high school customizing people's jean jackets, bleaching their jean jackets. Then it became, all right, I'm gonna start making my own shirts. Then that became, all right, I'm gonna start printing designs on shirts. I'm gonna start drawing up my own designs and getting them printed. So I looked at that as my hustle. You know what I'm saying? Some people sold weed, some people sold Pop-Tarts, some people sold Skittles. You know what I'm saying? I did all the above, but then I said, yo, I can't be doing the same thing everybody doing. So let me find a product that, you know what I'm saying, is gonna hit. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna hit, and only they could come to me. Only they could come to me for this product. You see what I'm saying? So I never worked a job ever in my life. I never worked for nobody, never punched the clock, nothing. I always would my whole thing was make and they take. You know what I'm saying? So I was always somebody who just tried to make something out of nothing using my creativity and my imagination. And then that just became, you know what I'm saying, like it bigger and bigger because I felt like I was incorporating my culture and my own flavor into what I was making.
Yeah.
And people caught on, and I was never really in the fashion industry, right? I was never in the industry because nobody would be trying to put my shit in their stores, and nobody two stores put my clothes in their store. It was V Files in New York, right? They put my shirts in their store. Yeah. And then and this place called Unique Basement in Japan, they ordered a bunch of shit from me and Dominique Mills. Yeah.
Yo.
So that was the only time I was ever quote unquote in the industry.
Got you.
Industry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But no, for real, like, and then I always looked at it though as a stepping stone because I always knew that I wanted to make music. I just knew that fashion was like, cause like it's a stigma. If you want to rap, it's like people are like, well, you trying to rap too, or you trying to make music too?
Yeah.
And it's like people don't really want to give you a chance, but if they already like you for something, or if they already know who you are, then they have no choice but to click play. So my whole thing was, all right, as long as they click play, because I know that I got heat, so they're gonna like what they hear. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna be able to dismiss me. So that was my plan all along, and I just let people think what they would think. You know what I'm saying? I dropped a few songs. Some of them were ass, some of them was mid, some of them had potential, right? But it wasn't until Dirty Jersey that it clicked, and Dirty Jersey was boom with Cash, who I grew up with, third grade. You know what I'm saying? So that was like that just that full circle story. Just it propelled me, and it let me know that this is what I had to be doing in my life. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's dope. That's dope. And even speaking about the fashion, just for the people that are just joining, Shotta will be giving a free part of his merch, the Shotta Man tee. And to actually qualify for that, all you really got to do is pay attention. I'm going to post about 5 questions tomorrow. And then if you get at least 4 right, you're entered. If you get all 5 right, I give you 2 entries. All right. So pay attention and let's keep it going. So, you said you weren't in the fashion industry and all that, but like, I remember, I think it was, you modeled with what, Yeezy season 1? Season 1. Yeah. So tell us about that. How that happened?
So, I started taking advantage of Instagram in 2012. Like, I looked at that as like, this is when it was only Instagram filters. There wasn't no ViscoCam, no.
Yeah.
And I went, it was Instagram filters, like, and I always would just make something. Anything I made, I put it on my Instagram, and I just kept that as a steady thing. And then, you know, I used all the hashtags and all that shit. And then I would be like, boom, getting followers, just, you know what I'm saying? Getting people liking this shit, you know, using them hashtags back in the day. And then people just eventually started buying my shit. You know what I'm saying? I made my own website, and then, you know, I would post my outfits and shit like that, because that's all I looked at it as. I just looked at it like, this is like it's like a photo book. You know what I'm saying? It's like all it is like a museum. You know what I'm saying? You walk in, I show you what I want to show you, and then you buy some shit if you fuck with it, and if not, you just leave. Right? So I always looked at it like that, and then eventually it just became, I guess people hadn't seen stuff like what I was doing, so it caught steam. And then just through that being somebody who had a lot of creative endeavors, I built relationships on the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that came with being outside, not just online, right? It came with being outside. So like, I'm going to New York, I'm going to all the events, I'm going to all the ciphers, I'm going to all the meetups, I'm everything. I'm going to album signings, I'm giving people my shirts, I'm having my product on me, you know what I'm saying? And then I met Heron Preston, and I met Virgil Abloh like early on, like 2013.
Oh,
and then
snap.
You know what I'm saying? And I would just be doing a lot of forcing, you know what I'm saying? I was somebody who never took no for an answer. I don't care if I annoy anybody. I don't care if I piss people off or I inconvenience people. I'm gonna have it my way. That was my thing in high school. Like, I don't give a fuck what you think about me. I'm gonna say what I need to say to you, and I'm gonna try to sell you some shit, or I'm gonna try to build with you. Right? I don't care if I come off as annoying or aggressive or whatever. Like, I didn't care. So, you know, people recognize that in me, and then it was like, yo, come to the casting. You know what I'm saying? And then this is I was working on my first project in Atlanta, and then it was like, yo, come to the casting, and then Heron let me skip the line and all type of shit like that.
Yeah.
And then I walked in there, and then like I had on what I wear on the plane, you know what I'm saying? And then everybody looked at me and it was like, yo, just keep on what you got on. We're gonna just take a picture of you and that.
What?
Right? And it was like, they was like, but just take off the Nikes and shit, because you know it's Adidas. So, and then, you know what I'm saying, they put me on the outfits, and I'm like, okay, if I don't get this job, like if I don't get casted for this shit, like, that's lame. Because I already know. I was like, I already know I'm fresh. And I already know that. And the clothes that Virgil was putting me in was fire. So I was like, this shit is hard. Like, okay, I gotta be in it. You know what I'm saying? And then I was just like, I prayed on it, I waited on it. They said, all right, you in it. And then, you know, first I was the first Yeezy show, and I was the only Asian man in there. You know what I'm saying?
That's
so that
crazy,
was
bro.
That was a dope thing. Yeah, that was a dope thing. But that just came about from, you know what I'm saying, having relationships, knowing people, being outside.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. And who was selected the final people? Was it Virgil, or was it like Kanye? Like, how did that work out?
I mean, I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? It was a whole bunch of people in there. I'm sure Kanye, you know what I'm saying? Because Kanye was the one who said, yo, just keep on what you got on. He was the one who said, yo, okay, just keep on what you got on. You look fire, da da da.
That's
so
dope,
I'm like,
man.
all right, yeah. So, you know, that it was cool. It was cool. You know what I'm saying? It was a great experience. It was definitely a stepping stone to getting my name out there and getting people to know who I am.
Yeah, and that's good, because you mentioned, because that was during the when you were making Upfall, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, I was making Upfall.
Got you. So you mentioned you was in Atlanta, right? So I think if people follow you, they might have seen your, you know, been with the, you know, Air Drummers, Mike Will, Sway Lee, and all that. So like, how did that relationship come to be? How'd you come in contact with them?
So going back to Franklin, so in Franklin we got this video program that you know, it's an elective that is a really, really dope elective run by Mr. Penix from Franklin High School, and he basically teaches you how to make videos and make movies. So there's a kid named Max Oliva who came out of that program. He graduated 2009, right? Coolest dude ever. You know what I'm saying? He said, yo, he hit me up. He went to my high school. He hit me up. He said, yo, you want to help me with this Ray Shremmerd video? And you know what I'm saying? They just need somebody to pick outfits and shit like that and put them in clothes. I'm saying, all right, I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do it. And then I long story short, boom, I'm there. I did it. I met Mike Will there. I met Sway Lee there, and I met Slim Jimmy there. And just right off the bat, the vibes connected. You know what I'm saying? I went up the mic. I said, yo, I'm next up. Like I'm the next up. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really believe all the way. I didn't know how I was gonna be the next up. right? I didn't know how I was gonna be the next up or how I was gonna be like, you know what I'm saying, the one to do anything for my town or whatever. I just knew that this is an opportunity I got to take. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm in college. I'm failing out of college and shit like that. And like, all I know is I want to make music and I want to make things. You know what I'm saying? I want to be creative, right? And I said, okay, these are some motherfucking some giants in the room. So I'm like, all right. And then just like that, it clicked. They took me in. You know what I'm saying? Mike Will put me on a lot of games. Took me a lot of places that the average human being doesn't get to see. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of dope experiences. And like Sway Lee and Slim Jimmy treated me like a brother, for real. Looked out for me. Like I was a broke college student. You know what I'm saying? Not poor. You know what I'm saying? But like I wasn't. I'm picking up. You know what I'm saying? I'm like I'm asking for money to get back on the train and go home type shit. Like. Hey, Sway, you give me like $5 to get on the train, like, you know what I'm saying? He's like, oh, hell yeah, bro, go ahead, bro. Yeah, you good, bro. And then even like having a place to stay, you know what I'm saying? Like I would be taking trips out to link up with them in LA or link up with them in Atlanta or whatever, and like I would always be good around them because I would be able to stay crash on somebody's couch and you know all the conversations that we had like definitely prepared me to level up in a way that I wasn't expecting. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't know what was gonna happen when I started making music. All I knew is I wanted to make music. So it was like everything just came in alignment, and then those three dudes, you know what I'm saying? And then Obbs too. Obbs for real. Aubrey, my manager now, who works with eardrummers. Put me on so much game. Obbs, Mike, Slim Jimmy, Sway Lee, like put me on a lot of game and helped me elevate, you know what I'm saying, evolve my music and my craft.
Yeah, I feel like that's the world, bro. Like at the end of the day, like I think even as self-motivated as you are, like at the end of the day, you really do need people to like give you that chance. Like somebody might see something, and if they're willing to give you that chance, you got to just do with it what you got. So I think it's dope that you've done that and you're doing that. And one thing I wanted to touch on, we were talking about how like you was using all the skills you had as for like business, right? So now that you're getting into the music industry and all that stuff, like, do you feel that you're more cautious of how you approach things in terms of like signing or like releasing? Like, are you trying to make sure that you're doing all your crossing all your X's, dotting all your I's and all that? Or how do you like learn all
that? Really, I'm still learning. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm still learning. I'm still asking. You know, I think knowledge. I think the most knowledge that I've gained has been from asking OGs and asking people who are more learned in the subject than I am. You know what I'm saying? So I think I'm still learning and I'm still having those conversations with people who are further ahead than me or have or more read than I am in those subjects. So I'm just
taking it in.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just taking it in. But you know, I'm definitely not no dummy. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely not no dummy, and I haven't signed anything. You know what I'm saying? Like not yet, at least.
Okay.
So
that's good.
I definitely know to read before you put your name on anything. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's a good point, man. I think like, you know, we see what happens and we always hear about the 360s and all that, but like at least if you get into it, you understand what's going on and you can at least be smarter with whenever you do sign some paper, right? And we got some questions coming in. So by the way, if y'all have any questions I want to ask Shotta, just submit them down there. And then I'm gonna bring them in as it seems smooth. Another question I had too. So one of the reasons that you said you kind of like looked up to Chino was, you know, he was older, but he was also Asian, right? And how do you feel like your ethnicity has really influenced your music, your fashion, and all that?
So man, like I feel like you know, America, just like with every other minority group, America has built these stereotypes and structural suppressive devices and oppressive techniques to, you know what I'm saying, to downplay the richness and the beauty of our cultures. You know what I'm saying? So you know, we're born into this country and we look on the TV and we look in the textbook and we don't see people who look like us. We don't see people starring in movies or being, you know what I'm saying, or being any, you know what I'm saying. We don't see politicians or we don't see a lot of strong characters that actually did exist in our ancient culture and our history, like, but they don't show that on our TV screens in America because, like, you know, it's an agenda being played out. So I feel like my dad and my mom and my dad, they made sure that I saw strong figures from every race. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like from every race that I made sure I had people that I knew about from history. You know what I'm saying? That did things and did great things. So like, my whole thing with just what I'm doing is like, since I was a kid, I felt that way. Like, yo, why nobody look like me? You know what I'm saying? Like, why I'm looking at these movies and these these movies and these TV shows and then this, you know what I'm saying? I'm turning on TV and nobody looks like me, right? And you know, I didn't understand what that meant until later on, like till I got to high school and I realized like, yo, this shit has been going on for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Until I started thinking about the history and learning about the history of just America in general. So, you know, I think one of my things is like bringing back that shining a light on the beauty and the richness and the strength and the courage, you know what I'm saying, and the wisdom from our cultures. Like, cause we came up like Asians, Black people, Latinos, like, you know what I'm saying? We're the center of everything. Culture. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever they call culture, it's derived from melanated people. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, give or take, you know, there's plenty of white geniuses and white creatives, of course, that have impacted the culture.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I'm Asian. You know what I'm saying? So I need to, you know what I'm saying? So I need to big up. I need to big up all the people that don't get that shine. You know what I'm saying? Because it plays a big role in how children grow up. You know what I'm saying?
That's facts, bro. That's facts. Actually, let me get this question popping. We got from I'm a Wolf. It sounds like you came from humble beginnings. What was the hardest part of getting to where you are now? And when was the moment you know you'd make it? And that's my question too long. I'm about to break that up. But you want to answer the first part?
What was the hardest part of what?
Getting to where you are now.
The hardest part was getting over my own self-doubt. The hardest part was getting over my own self-doubt and my own hesitation. Because you know, like I said earlier, is what the world tells you is opposite of how you feel inside. And it's like that for people who aren't white in America. You know what I'm saying? They tell you you're this, they tell you this statistic, they tell you that you can't do this and you can't do certain things and you're meant to fulfill this certain role, right? But how I felt inside was not that. So I think just having that self-doubt within me, that was the hardest battle for me. You know what I'm saying? Like just getting over caring what people thought about me or who I was gonna disappoint or who I was gonna make mad or, you know what I'm saying? Like that was the hardest part.
I got you.
And you know what I'm saying? Questioning myself and how I feel.
And Mama Wolf, if you want to send the rest of your questions separately so I can read it all. One thing I wanted to ask about, kind of going back to, you know, growing up and all that, is what was the reaction from your parents when you first started really like, I'm doing this, I'm gonna dedicate my life to it? Like, how was that conversation?
I mean, my mom loved it. You know what I'm saying? She loved it. She always told me like keep going. You know what I'm saying? Anything creative I did, she loved it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's my biggest supporter, for real. She's my biggest supporter. And my dad, at first he was like, you know, he loves everything I make and everything I do. It was just like, yo, yeah, I don't know if you can make a career out of this. You know what I'm saying? Because my dad was also an artist growing up, but he was born in poverty. So my dad was born in poverty. So art for him wasn't gonna. It didn't get him out the hood. What got him out the hood was going to school, being smarter than everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And getting the job, and you know what I'm saying, and working your way out through the system, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? It's just that he had a different perspective on it, and I had a different one as well. He was a photographer and he was an illustrator too when he was younger. It's just the reality of it was it wasn't gonna pay no bills, so he was just really looking out for me and trying to make sure that I was straight. And it wasn't until I started putting music out that he saw like how the world or people around the world was receiving me, and you know what I'm saying, and just looking and like, okay, you on to something. So whatever you got going on, like I'm gonna make sure you straight. You my son at the end of the day, like, and then we always would have our disagreements and stuff like that, and there was points where it got really bad, like I didn't really fuck with his energy on anything, and then you know what I'm saying, we would go a long time without talking sometimes, but you know, eventually over time I understood his perspective, he understood mine, and then we eventually came, you know what I'm saying, to a common ground. It was like, all right, I believe in he now, you know what I'm saying, so today he all the way believes in what I'm doing. He's, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
I've been blessed to just have supportive parents with this shit. Yeah.
That's dope. I'm glad to hear y'all good. Oh, I guess the rest of Mama Wo's question was, when was the moment you knew you'd make it in the business?
I never really knew that I would make it in the business. I always just said that I'm going to. I would always just speak into my life, but nobody really ever knows. There was no point where I was like, yeah, I know I'm gonna make it. There was only a point where I said, okay, I got to keep trying and I got to try harder because it's doing something. You know what I'm saying? And like I haven't made it yet, so I want everybody who's listening to know that nothing in my brain is telling me that I made it. I never ever say I made it. The only time I'm saying I made it is when I wake up in the morning and I pray because I made it to another day. But as far as making it in the business or making it in industry, I don't think I made it yet. You know what I'm saying? Because I still live check to check like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? I think that's another misconception. Influence does not equal money. You know what I'm saying? Just because somebody has influence doesn't mean that they have money. You know what I'm saying? Just because somebody has money doesn't mean they have influence. Those are two separate things. So I want to make that clear. Like, I'm still grinding. I still work like I'm broke. You know what I'm saying? I still have to grind and hustle, and I'm doing this shit independently out of my own pocket. So I know that it might seem, and I carry it well, you know what I'm saying, and that I make it look good. But at the end of the day, just like everyone else, I carry a burden, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going through things, and in order to do what I do, it takes a lot of willpower. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think I made it yet. I know I believe I will make it and I have faith, you know what I'm saying? God willing that I'll make it. But I just know that you know what I'm saying, I just believe that every day grind and get to it and just have that vision. You know what I'm saying? It's just good to keep that vision in your head and keep grinding towards it.
Yeah.
But you can never say, oh, I made it. You know what I'm saying? Because there never was a point where I said, oh, I made it.
That's true. That's true. Now, that's some good words, bro. I mess with that. And speaking about burdens, I remember like when I met you in San Diego, you know, was on the trail. You was telling me how like you had completely changed your diet and all that. You want to speak on that?
Yeah. So all right. So I know it's a lot of people in here. So I'm not vegan. I don't use that term because you could smoke, you could drink alcohol and you could eat pizza. No, I mean, you could drink alcohol and you could do cocaine and you could say you're vegan, right? I'm holistic. I'm holistically plant-based. You know what I'm saying? Occasionally I'll eat fish. You know what I'm saying? Occasionally I have a chicken wing or two. My diet is mostly fruits and vegetables. You know what I'm saying? And that's something I learned from Dr. Sebi. You know, a lot of people have been healed from their diseases have been reversed because of Dr. Sebi's teachings. So, you know what I'm saying? Nipsey Hussle talks about him a lot. And, you know, all it is just going back to the ancient ways. Like, our people, first of all, we're not from America, right? Our DNA is not from America. Our DNA is from the tropics. You know what I'm saying? I'm Vietnamese and South Chinese, so Hong Kong, right? So I'm a person who has blood from tropical areas, right? We eat natural, we eat life, we consume life, right? We don't consume, in our culture and in our history, we don't meat and bread and cheese and all that type of shit. That's not in our DNA to eat. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna argue with nobody on that because, you know, whatever you put in your mouth is up to you. It's not up to me, right?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say what it's done for me because growing up, I had bad eczema, like bad eczema all over my body, right? And it got to a point in 2018 where it was so painful that like I performed South by Southwest, right? Covered up in all that white gear and all the you know what I'm saying, all the fresh shit, but underneath I was really fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I was burning. You know what I'm saying? Burning up everywhere, just like it would hurt when I took a shower. So then that was when I was like, all right, yo, I gotta really take serious my diet and what I'm putting in my body. Not only what I'm eating, but drugs. Like, I'll go to the doctor and they're giving you drugs they say, oh, this will cure your eczema, this will do this for you, this cream will help. But really that's not doing nothing but masking the symptoms. So I had to really dive deep and do my learning. Me and my mom collaborated on it and figured out, okay, we gotta figure out exactly what you can eat and what you can't eat and what's gonna cause you to have certain immune responses, you know what I'm saying, that's gonna cause eczema and shit like that. So then, it took like a year and some change to really get it all under control and then clear skin, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
By the grace of God, it was a tough battle, but I had to do it because I couldn't live the rest of my life getting fucking boils and shit on my skin every time I ate a slice of pizza, you know what I'm saying? So it's a blessing because it in turn made me healthier. It made me stronger mentally, physically. It made me stronger. I could, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like healthier all around. You know what I'm saying? Mentally, spiritually, and physically. You know what I'm saying? So it's really important. And shout out to my boy Wale. Wale really helped me through that journey. He was one of the people who taught me a lot about alkalinity of and consuming life over death.
That's
so,
dope.
You know what I'm saying? I recommend anybody who's having health issues to, before you start taking them drugs that the white man is trying to prescribe you, you know, especially if you're a melanated person, you got to look into Dr. Sebi and see what he said about whatever you're dealing with. Real talk.
Switch up the game. All right, we got another question here. XN. He says, what do you do or tell yourself when you find yourself lacking motivation or drive to write a song?
I don't force it. Well, this is another thing though, right? I read this quote today. It's like some people they sit and wait for inspiration. Other people just get to it, right? So you gotta make a way out of no way. You know what I'm saying? You can't just be waiting and sitting on your ass waiting for something to happen and then you respond to it. You have to be the one taking action. You know what I'm saying? You have to you have to be the one that makes that statement as opposed to waiting for something to happen and then you respond to it. You gotta be the one to just be like, all right, even though I'm not feeling this way and I don't feel like doing anything, I'm gonna just do it anyway. I'm gonna stop thinking about it. So you know what I'm saying? If I'm not feeling motivated to make a song, right, like that's different from feeling like doing something else, right? Like you could be not motivated to do a song, but you'll still be like, I know I should. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you just gotta let it flow. And then if you really, really, really don't want to make music on that day or you don't want to do anything, just don't. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't live life, what are you gonna talk about in your music?
But we back. So I don't remember where you left off. I think you're just dropping too much heat, bro. You gotta calm down.
Somebody had asked a question.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Also, for the people that asked a question and I didn't answer yet, please resubmit. I'm sorry about that. I think we had like 2 or 3 more that I was about to get to. But yeah, just submit your questions back up and we'll get it popping. But another thing I was gonna ask, we haven't really talked too much about it, but Shotta 2020. You've been posting that everywhere, bro. So what's good? When this music dropping?
2020, bro. Summer 2020.
Hey, summer almost over, bro. Summer almost over.
It'll drop when it's the right time. You know what I'm saying? We in the Corona era, so I don't want to rush it out there.
No.
It's done though. It's done.
It's done?
Yeah, it's pretty much done.
Oh, it's done? Okay. Yeah. Bet. And then so now are you like what would you say, because when I look back on your albums, right? So with Upfall, obviously it's your debut and you really just telling where you're from, telling who you are. And then, the next one that came out, 2019? What would you like say was the total, like the whole theme of that? Like, what was the goal of that?
I only dropped one project.
What was the other one called then that was on Spotify? Was that just a mixtape?
Nah, that was just like a that was just like a compilation of singles and shit like that I dropped.
Oh, okay.
And like just loose songs. That wasn't really a project. It
wasn't like a put together. Okay.
Nah. It was just like a playlist, man. Gotcha. G Shrimp was good. I see you, my boy.
Hey.
Yes, sir. But yeah, that one was back. Yeah, it wasn't a 10-12. It was called 10-12. It was just like a little, you know what I'm saying? I put out songs just to give the people
I
something
see
to
this
hold
for
them
the people.
over.
Okay, I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Hmm. But it
We
definitely had some bangers on there though.
for real, for real.
It definitely had some bangers though, man.
We had Mama Wolf. She says, "What career accomplishment are you most proud of?"
Making music with my day ones, for real. Making music with my day ones, and like making music with people that I've been going to elementary school with, and then getting worldwide love from it. I
Yeah.
think that's the that's what I'm most proud of, because I'm doing this shit with my day ones, like people I went to third grade with, fifth grade with. The person like Starship, I made my my first song with the producer of Starship in ninth grade, and
Mm-hmm.
Kakuyan. You know what I'm saying? I first started
Kakuya.
anything creative with him, like we did Back on the Bags together, and even like just yeah, that's the whole thing for me. Collaboration is the most beautiful part of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? People from all different um ethnicities, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All different walks of life, you know what I'm saying? Coming together and making things, building things, and things that positively impact people and bring joy. And I think, tied with that, I'm just proud to know that I affect people's lives in a positive way. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody DM me and was like, "Yo, like, you stopped me from committing suicide." You know what I'm saying? Or like,
Whoa.
"Yo, yeah," or like, "Yo, my son or my daughter loves your music and just and dances all around the crib to it," and or like, can you send me a video of you saying happy birthday to my son? He's graduating." Like, those things are the things that I'm most proud of, that I can affect people in a positive way, because
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, that's what it's all about to me. I don't really care about um you know what I'm saying, anything I don't really care about the vanity aspect of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying, I enjoy making people feel good.
And that's dope, man. And speaking about that, I think it is crazy how like easy it is these days to have to go global, right? Anybody can hear you. Because I remember I had posted on my story like one of your recent posts or whatever, and one of my boy Josh, I think he in the live, and he's like, "Yo, Shotta Spence," and you know this man is in the UK, right? So I'm like,
Yeah,
"What?" Like that. So I think it's dope that you making it out here, bro.
that's
It's
fire.
mad dope.
That's what it's all about, man. Connecting
For
people
real,
on the
for real.
same vibe and the same frequency. Because you know the world is built in a way that wants to divide us.
Ooh. Hey, okay, Josh, I see you. The boy Joe, he says, "Who are some of your favorite artists in the game?"
Um, um, I mean, I feel like nobody's ever out the game. Somebody's still pressing play. So I'm just gonna name a whole bunch of artists that I love.
Bet, let it go.
So Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder, Bob Marley, Beyonce, um, Lil Wayne, Jay-Z, Wu-Tang Clan, Nas, Tupac, Biggie, Kendrick Lamar, Kanye West, Kid Cudi, um, Movado, Sizzler, Capleton, Vibes Cartel, Fela Kuti. Um,
Hey, shout
I
out my
re-
guy.
Burna Boy is dope too. Um, Drake is cool too. He's definitely a legend. Drake is definitely a legend. Can't forget him. And
Mm-hmm.
no offense if I forget anybody, because I love every artist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I will never ever say, "Oh, this is my top five." This is because, you know, I can't just do that. I can't just, you know what I'm saying? I can't. It's hard for me to, especially being an artist. I know how hard it is to be an artist. I can't just say, "Oh, this person better than that person." This person, like, that's not the point of music to me. I don't see I don't see, you know what I'm saying? I feel like everybody
yeah,
got their own skill that nobody else possesses, and that they should be celebrated for that. But
that's
yeah,
true.
just um the dream, you know what I'm saying? R. Kelly, you know what I'm saying? Even despite the controversy, his music is definitely game changing.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody, man. Mike Will, Sway Lee, Slim Jimmy, Kakuyan. Um,
Kakuya.
you know what I'm saying? Just I got a lot of favorites, like, you
No,
know,
that's
Marvin Gaye for sure.
dope.
You know what I'm saying?
You gotta show love where it's due, bro. For real.
Yeah, like everybody though. I listen to everybody, every single genre of music I listen to. Like,
And that's one thing I was gonna ask you because I feel like in a lot of your songs, you also have a lot of like Caribbean influence. Like, were you growing up? Was that kind of like your favorite genre, or how did you kind of like?
Yes. So running track in high school, like we were around all type of Caribbeans. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then my favorite movie is Shottas. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my favorite movie. But one of them, and you know, in high school, I'm with a whole bunch of Caribbeans. We all listen to the dance hall and reggae, and just Caribbean vibes, and like my nickname just became Shotta Spence. You know what I'm saying? They just started calling me Shotta, and then I just embraced it and was like, yo, that shit tough. I'm gonna just use it. You know what I'm saying? And then I just stuck with it. That was my name on Twitter. That was my name on IG, and I was like, all right, shit, it's gonna be my name in music. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I love Jamaican culture. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just being embraced by the Jamaicans that I grew up around, and Caribbean people that I grew up around. Like, you know, they always show me love and put me on like amazing music that got me through a lot of things. And
that's dope.
You know what I'm saying? I just
cool.
big up all the Caribbeans.
But so we're nearing the end of it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna let one more person ask a question, and then I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna have you wrap it up real quick, and then we'll end it there. So next question
is you gotta pick a different question, man. You gotta pick something.
Like we've seen that before, bro.
Yeah.
What inspires you the most? I think somebody asked that earlier.
What about you? You don't have any other question?
I mean, I got a lot of questions, bro. I like to let the pal speak. But I think one thing I want to ask for you is, you know, I've noticed you're very, you know, active on social media, not just with your music, but also what's going on, and like, you know, you speaking of whether it's BLM or whatever trending case.
Now we're talking, bro.
Yeah, and what I want to ask you, what I want to ask you is like, do you feel like, oh, like I can't talk about stuff because I don't want to hurt my career, or are you just like, hey, this is who I am and this is what I do? So like, speak on that.
I feel like the career is never as important as who you are as a human. You know what I'm saying? There is no career. There is no career without life. You know what I'm saying? So just as a human being, as human beings, we all have a responsibility to stand up for each other. You know what I'm saying? Anybody with a good heart can see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't see the racism and the blatant disrespect that's happening to black people all over the world, if you don't see that and you choose to turn a blind eye, at this point, you racist. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, you know, we gotta get with whoever is on the frequency, and whoever is with the cause, and whoever is an ally per se.
Yeah.
Right? We gotta start building from there, because this has been going on for a long time, and it's only just now is because the only reason why is a big thing right now is because finally everyone has a video camera in their pocket on their phone, right? So it wasn't until, because these things have been going, like Emmett Till, right? It's always your word against the police, and the police can lie and cover things up and do all type of nut shit and fucked up shit, and then it's always going to be the law over what you say as a civilian. So now that we have video cameras and stuff like that, more people are getting to understand what it means to be a minority. Not even understand, but see what it's like. Because there's no way that I'll ever understand the black experience because I'm not black, and there's no way that anybody else will understand the Asian experience if they're not Asian, and so on and so forth. But all the other things, only thing we could do is see and talk to each other and have these conversations. So it's like, you know, with what's going on now, it's like, you know, it's been 400 plus years, you know what I'm saying, in America, since the first slave ships arrived in America. They first arrived in 1619. It's 2020 now, right? And in the Bible, it says it's prophecy. You know what I'm saying? 400 years of being subjected to oppression. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a revolution now. It's a new era. It's either you with the people or you not. You know what I'm saying? And if you making excuses for what any criminal acts or any injustices against colored people and melanated people and black people, it's like it's done up. You know what I'm saying? It's done up for you. So, you know, still we try to work with everybody, but now it's just time for us to build with each other. Like, my whole thing is like, I went to protest, I went outside, I did the marching and the shouting, and that's the young people job. You know what I'm saying? We supposed to be out there and doing that. After that, though, we got to build something, right? We got to use our platforms, like just like how me and you talking and having this conversation. This is important because this type of thing was impossible 20 years ago, where we can just go and tap into people who follow you and people who follow me, and we're on, you know what I'm saying? We're having this conversation live for people to see and have an open conversation, like, and just building, like, you know what I'm saying? Put it like how we spend our money, like what we invest in, what kind of companies are we paying to do things for us? Is there a black company that can do it for us instead of a big white corporation? You know what I'm saying? And this is all about empowering minorities. This is not about it's not about hating white people. It's about
bringing people up,
trying to catch up. You know what I'm saying? And in order to catch up, it's like you have to empower those who are you know what I'm saying, similar to you. You know what I'm saying? So I think with what's going on, it's like it's that we're at that point where it's like it's no more room for bullshit, because everybody sees what's going on, and it's like now we have to really put our heads together and build things. Like, that's why my whole team is my day ones, people I came, because it always starts with the individual. It can't just be having all these hopes and dreams and then you just leave the people that you came up with, right? You have to build with the people from the ground up. Because like I can go somewhere and meet somebody, but I don't know that person. You know what I'm saying? Or I could sign to anybody, but I don't know that person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's way more valuable when you build from the ground up with people that are like minded. You know what I'm saying? That have the same code of ethics and the same goals with you and the same vision.
No, that's dope, bro. I mean, that was you said a lot there. You know, I think the biggest thing that you said, you know, with us having this conversation is really the education aspect, right? You know, it's good to go to the protest. It's good to talk about it, but it's good to also know history, right? You know, even going back to what you said, Emmett Till, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people didn't know Emmett Till and the Rosa Parks. That was the same year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it might seem like, oh, we've came this far, but you got to understand what happened and where we are right now. And then, like you said again, the next part is like, okay, you posted that black square. Okay, you went to that protest. Okay, you posted this hashtag. But how are you living this every day? Are you scared of what people think about you, or do you really care about what you're doing? So, you know, I appreciate you, you know, keeping that vibe up and just being real, because we got to be real. Like you said, there's no more time for bullshit, right?
Yeah.
So I do want to wrap it up though, because I know we were supposed to only do an hour. We went a little bit over. But what I would like to end with is, one, I want you to just off your head, what is like an advice, some piece of advice you would like to give to people? And then two, I want you to end it with, if I've never heard Shotta Spence, what is one song I got to go check out right after this? So let's start.
All right. So the song you got to check out if you've never heard me is Arriba. You got to go check that out. You got to check that out and listen to the game I'm kicking in that song. And listen, because I that song, I dumbed it down for a lot of people. Usually I have infinite amounts of flows in all my songs, but that one I kept to one flow so everybody could just listen to what I'm saying. And then to answer the other question, the advice part, show love in every aspect. When nobody's watching, and when people are watching, and when you're in private, when you're in public, have that good energy, because who you are, you got to look at it like this. What you put out into the world is what you get back. Literally, it's a universal law, right? It's in every religion, it's in every sacred book, whatever. If that's what you go based off of, it's just a universal law, right? Always show love. You know what I'm saying? If you spend your time thinking about the negative things in your life, or the negative things that you see, right, or looking through a negative lens, or trying to tear somebody down, that energy is gonna come all the way back around to you, and then you're gonna be in a place of just negative vibes, and that's there's no creation and productivity in there. It's only destruction. You know what I'm saying? It's all right to feel human emotions. It's all right to feel angry and to feel bad and to feel sad sometimes. You just can't stay there. You have to pick yourself up and always show love. Show love to the people around you. Show love to your family. Show love to other, you know what I'm saying, people you don't know. Just like how y'all all showing me love right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that's what makes the world go around. And as human beings, we're put on this earth to serve God, to serve each other, and to serve, you know what I'm saying, to serve the world. So always show love and keep that high energy. And believe in yourself. Don't ever entertain negativity. Also, like, you think, you know what I'm saying? You think anybody, like, shit, like, nobody ever got anywhere without people doubting them, right? It's always going to happen. Like, that's just the way the world is set up, right? There are always going to be people who are doubting you, and you can't ever listen to that, because your motivation should not be proving your doubters wrong. Your motivation should be proving your supporters right.
Okay.
So always look on that side of things. Look through that lens, because you're gonna be way more motivated when you're doing things if you think about all the people that love you and support you, as opposed to all the people that hate you and despise you, because the love always outweighs the hate. Appreciate the love. Album 2020.
Hey, yo, thank you, Shotta, bro. Thank you for joining. Once again, he will be giving out his Shotta tea. Hope y'all paid attention. I know there's 2 episodes, but I'm gonna post them both. But you know, I appreciate you coming on once again, bro. You know, I hit you up and you said, let's do this ASAP. You know, I really fuck with that. That's real love. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna let you go, and then I'm gonna wrap it up with the rest of the gang. So once again, appreciate you. Shotta 2020. Y'all be on the lookout.
Appreciate the love, bro.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna wrap it up real quick. Thank y'all for joining the episode 7 of the Paul and Pals IG Live show. I really hope y'all gained some word from that. You know, that was really powerful convo. I know he's an artist, that's what he's doing, but you know, like I said, everybody's more than that. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason people are where they're at right now. And really the whole point of this show is for you guys to understand how they got to where they are today to inspire you for tomorrow. All right. So what I would like to ask for y'all, if you appreciated this episode, if you found something that really touched you, you know, share the story, share the episode on your story, let people know why you mess with it, and then just spread the word. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to post the questions tomorrow night, so follow the account to see all those questions. And then in 2 weeks, I will reveal who the winner is on episode 8 of the Paul and Pals IG Live show. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace. Arriba, to the top with a baddie by my side.